Hi guys, it's Talia here, and today I'm going to walk you through my One Little Word for 2018 album. My word was womanhood, which was a pretty intense word to have chosen. I kind of knew that at the beginning, but whatever, I didn't understand exactly how intense it would be. So I start the album just with this photo of myself. I like this idea to have a photo of myself at the beginning and a photo at the end, like to bookmark it. It makes it clear that it's, about me, for me, that kind of thing. On the back of that I have my womanhood word. And then I get into January. So if you're not familiar with how the One Little Word course works, is you choose your guiding word for the year, and then each month you are given like a set of prompts and stuff like this, and videos by Ali Edwards, and you just work through them. You don't even have to make them into a book like this, but this is what most people do. And so I've got different quotes, different definitions, things I'm letting go. I chose to do like a summary of the month in relation to my word, and I did that every single month, and I quite liked doing that. I felt I did it consistently throughout the year, and I think I'll continue that in 2019 as well. It was really nice. So I'm going through, had to do this for the year ahead. Talked about how it was already part of my life, things I wanted more of, which were like self-care, self-acceptance, self-awareness, inner beauty, and less self-doubt, hurt and pain, confusion. Yeah. I was excited about this, embracing my own womanhood and really exploring the topic without reservation, and excited to see what Hashem reveals to me. And that's true. Like it was exciting. That excitement continued throughout, I would say. And then I looked at my intentions, which I'd broken up into physical, emotional, spiritual, relationships and family, creative, and other relationships. And then we went into February, where I had a miscarriage. That's why I have that photo in there. And I can't remember what I put in here. Obviously something I want to keep relative, just more. It wasn't even so personal. It was just more photos, and I didn't want to like clog this up with like miscarriage things, but I felt like it was a really interesting thing to have experienced in relation to womanhood. I'd never had one before, and I didn't know what to expect. It was like a very traumatic experience, really, because it was a delayed miscarriage as well. So I definitely started the year pregnant, and I didn't find out that I'd miscarried until I was like 11 weeks. And yeah, I mean, I did know before that internally, but yeah, anyway. You know what, that should, oh, maybe that is February's. Okay, so I had a lot to write about in there. I, looking at the end, I can look at this experience and sort of look at it as like a, wow, this is what people go through, and now I can be more understanding to other women who go through this. So that's the positive that I'm taking away from it. But overall, yeah, it was a really hard experience. And I had to do this vision board in February, which is really chock-a-block full of feminine, womanly things that I wanted to embrace with womanhood. References to Shabbat. I had all these different words that I thought were, to me, part of being a woman. or like biblical women I wanted to emulate, being a healer, being healthy, happy and warm, sexual, natural living, spiritual, soulful, educated, wise, sacred, generous with love, vulnerable, intuitive, all these different things that I related to womanhood, meek and kind-hearted. And yeah, I really liked having those in the vision board as things that I thought were almost synonymous with womanhood. Then we come into March, where we had to do a habit every day, and I chose to do meditation, and I did pretty well. I'm super happy with that, to be honest. Like, that's a great effort for me. Again, my reflections moved into April, and my reflections for April, and these were different questions I wanted to ask myself about womanhood that I had displayed places, and I chose not to like write a response to those, though I could go back and do that, I suppose. In May, we were using photos to relate to our word. So here is a picture of my family, and womanhood equals being an anchor and gatekeeper to my family. A picture of me with some friends. Womanhood equals a village of women with me. My kids. Womanhood equals embracing the emotions, fears and joys of mothering my babies. Here with a cup of tea, womanhood equals embracing self-care. Charting my cycle. Womanhood equals knowing my body. Here I was speaking at a conference, and I said womanhood equals juggling many balls. And here I have a picture of myself with my hair wrapped, and I said womanhood equals the joy and responsibility of Sinut. And here I just had a piece of art journaling that I'd done recently to this, and I said womanhood equals making beautiful things. On this page I have my son with the compost bin, and I said womanhood equals turning my passions into actions. And here I have making challah, and I said womanhood equals my special mitzvot, making challah and lighting the Shabbat candles. So yeah, my reflections on May, June's page, June's reflections. This was halfway through the year, so I did like my in progress check. You know, here my experience so far has been challenging and helpful, and I would say that continues through the next 6 months as well. Yeah, I had to filter through ideas or different interpretations of womanhood that I didn't necessarily agree with, or even that included like the way other religions see women, and sort of being able to sort of say, well, that doesn't actually define womanhood, this is just through the lens of this other religion, and I can look at it through my own religion. And the balancing of the now of womanhood with the ideal. It was easy for me to get caught up in like, oh, this is what a woman is, and this is how she should act, and so this is how I should act, and this is what I want. And that's great, it is good to know what you want, but I had to also be realistic of like, well, this is how I am now, so what step can I make to get in that direction? But also who I am right now is just as authentically part of womanhood, and is just as true as this ideal of what womanhood is. So and yeah, this was a good thing that I had been thinking about at this time, that actually being grateful to be a woman with all the complexities that come with it. Yeah. These were things I wanted to accomplish by the end of the year. Have done a bunch of cycle charting. Tick. Have a regular gym and meditation practice. No, semi. and developed a more intimate and kind nature. Oh wow, Talia, you don't ask much. Okay, I don't know about that. So July, we're doing affirmations. I am woman, hear me roar. Embrace your cycles, Talia. Meditate, pray often, be you, forgive, find the joy, be brave, be happy. I really like all of those. They're very fitting. July was actually a difficult month for me, and so that's why my photo is kind of reflective, and my journaling on the back explains all of that. I think actually from this point, from July onward, you can watch process videos of me making these spreads over on my art YouTube channel, which I'll link in. So if you're interested to see them all come together, then I'll link you to that. August, and we did like a yes day, or let your word lead day, and I actually didn't get to do mine until, I don't know, November or October or something like that, but I still included it here because it was the prompt for this month. And some pictures of that and some reflections. This was a big month because basically the month of August was almost lined up very well, like 3 out of 4 weeks, say, to Elul, and which is a very introspective month where you're doing a lot of teshuvah, coming back to yourself, and reflections and preparations for the high holidays. So it was like a lot of inner work that I was doing that month, so that was difficult, I suppose. But then also in the practical sense, it was very busy with getting ready for the high holidays. So I didn't have a chance to do this yesterday until later in the year. I also wanted to do it without children, and yeah, that's okay as far as I'm concerned. I don't care that I did it at a different time. I think I made note of that. Yeah, I put the actual real date, 17th of November, when I reflected on it. Okay, into September. So these were stories. So we had to be really reflective, I suppose, on what stories do we tell ourselves about our word. All of mine were kind of negative things they're the things that came to me. So, which did work well because I could write them down, and then I could write on the next piece of paper the new story that I'm telling myself, which was related to the current story I was telling myself, but reframed in a positive way, in reality, in a much more truthful way. So sometimes there were 2 stories I wanted to tell myself, so I just split those up that way. A whole bunch of different things to do with some of them are kind of loosely based on womanhood, but because my word, as you can imagine, is like, I am a woman, it basically encompasses every single thing I do and think in lots of ways. So that's why I was able to include lots of random things in that. Then we get to October, and we have lyrics to songs, and I guess it could have been poems and stuff, but mine were just all song lyrics, and I really enjoyed doing that, even though I'm not much of a some music person. Then my October reflections into November, I did this on a piece of card here and attached it, which was just a letter to myself, bit of decoration on the back, a photo, and my reflection. Then into December, which was, I've just got my reflection for the month specifically there, and then I've got facts about the year, feelings about the year, things I want to remember about this process, which I'll share with you. I just want to remember the intense womanly experience of miscarrying a baby. I want to remember the importance of inner work and advocating for yourself. I want to remember to track my cycles and know myself in this way more. I want to remember the power of the mind and the role it plays in creating, remembering, and connecting with stories. It can be a powerful negative or positive tool, and I have experienced both this year. And I want to remember the benefits of meditation. So, cool. And, oh wow, that paint's gone through the cardboard, through my photo paper. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can sort of see it in the video. Anyway, just this probably didn't have to be like so big photo of me at the end, but whatever. A photo, just a photo that I liked of me with this pink top, and yeah, I just cut it out so it had a bit of white space so I could easily put it into my book, and then just something pretty to go through. So that is my summary of my one little word for 2018. I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into 2019 now, even though we're already like halfway through January. But I haven't got my kit yet, so I'm going to go through and just make notes in a journal, so I can have done January's work and then put it into the book when I'm ready. But yeah, I hope that you like this. I'm pretty sure you can still sign up for this program. It's like quite cheap. I think it's like $26 or $30 US dollars, and it is without any kit, but you get a digital kit with it, so you can print everything out, which is what I did. And yeah, it is well worth the money, let me assure you. It has been an amazing experience. I'm so grateful to have just made the decision to go with that this year. And I started 2018 with a couple of year-long projects I wanted to complete. This is one that I thought, oh, maybe this is too much, maybe I shouldn't have this one as well. But no, of all those projects, this is the only one that I have completed at the end of the year, and I'm so grateful to have done this course, One Little Word with Ali Edwards. Highly recommend it. But yeah, thanks for looking through this with me, guys, and I hope to have a video for you soon. See ya.